note that we have also implemented the various state governments as well as the union territories as party respondents to the petitions, and notice has been served on them, and many of them have filed replies. And this is really with regard to another approach, because one of our contentions is going to be that, look, you cannot have a situation where your cultural rights of one border state get completely undermined and destroyed. If ultimately this is upheld, then there has to be a corresponding duty to ensure that the people are not completely going to reduce persons who are living on a border just by coincidence on the border to a minority, or to lose or dilute very, very substantially their political and cultural rights. It then becomes the responsibility of the central government and all the units in the federation to assume some part of this burden. If we are going to welcome people over there, allow them to overstay, not have any system at all by which the persons are required and mandated to be removed, the illegal migrants. So that's going to be one other set, which is why we have put these particular parties also as party respondents. Now, please go directly to page 3000,
Mr. Diwan,
para 3.
you have included all the states and UTs, all the states and UTs.
Yeah, we have, yeah. And so they filed replies. Some of them have in fact gone so far as to say that, yes, we realize this problem, and if there is a direction from the court, we will, we'll comply with it in this regard. So anyway, now, my lords, if your lordship is just pleased to go directly, I'm just giving you a little bit of a description of who I am. And for this purpose, go to internal page 11 of the petition, running page 3000 of volume 3. I'll read a few of these so that you have an idea and a sense. Writ petitioner number 1, the All Assam Ahom Association, was established in the year 1893. The aim of the organization is to bring political awareness among Ahom community in the state of Assam and to work for all-around development of the Ahom community and to try and solve all types of problems faced by the community. The petitioner number 1 organization also works for the preservation of old rituals and religious customs, monuments and historical sites. It is especially working for socio-cultural economic development. Writ petitioner number 2 was established in the year 1925 with registration number 1929. It's a non-political social cultural community developing organization and works for the unity of the Sutia community in Assam. The Sutia community is scheduled tribe in the state of Assam. Writ petitioner number 2 is also working for the all-round welfare and development of the community. It is also working for the protection and preservation of culture, rituals, customs, land rights, and political rights. Writ petitioner number 3 was established in the year 1978. Its society registration number is so-and-so. Writ petitioner number 3 was formed to preserve and develop the Garo language and culture, to work for research and development of Garo literature, to write and produce the Garo medium textbooks for elementary and secondary education in Assam. It is working for all-round development of the Garo community, which is a scheduled tribe in the state of Assam. It is specially working for socio-cultural, economic development and preservation of traditional customs, rituals, old religious activities, and beliefs of the community. Writ petitioner number 4, established in 1955 and is a registered society. It's a non-political, socio-cultural organization. The aims and organization is to preserve and develop the Rabha culture and tradition, organize workshops and trainings for the development of Rabha culture. The Rabha community is a scheduled tribe in the state of Assam. With cultural troops, the writ petitioners participated in the Republic Day Parade in New Delhi on several occasions. The writ petitioner number 4 is working for the unity and integrity of all communities in the state of Assam. Writ petitioner number 5 is the Koch Rajbonshi Songrom Samiti. It is a socio-political organization. The aims and organization is to work for the all-round development of the Koch Rajbonshi community, a scheduled tribe in the state of Assam, including the preservation and protection of culture. Writ petitioner demands self-determination of the Koch Rajbonshi community. The writ petitioner number 6 is so-and-so. The Samiti was established on 2nd February 2007 and its head office is given. The aims of the writ petitioner number 6 is specially working for socio-cultural, economic development and preservation of rituals, old religious activity of the Deori community, a scheduled tribe in the state of Assam. Writ Petitioner 7, the All Senior Missing Citizens Association. The association was established in 2008. This is our registration number is given, non-political social organization. Object is to foster the spirit of unity and universal brotherhood among the missing community and to create awareness of importance of education, science, economics, technology, industry, sanitation and literature, and further to preserve the missing religious beliefs and its culture. So and so is a missing community, is a scheduled tribe in the state of Assam. 8 is the All Assam Tai Khamti National Council, socio-political organization, working for the all-round development of the Khamti community, specifically working for socio-cultural economic development, preserving traditions, customs, rituals. Number 9 is the All Assam Scheduled Caste Students Union. Organization was established on 15th February 62, non-political students organization, and was formed to actively fight against all kinds of discrimination, repression, and domination of scheduled castes in the state of Assam, and to work for the rights of the scheduled castes and to further create awareness for socio-political and cultural rights. Writ Petitioner number 10, the Sonowal Kachari Songram Samiti. It's a socio-political organization. The Sonowal community is a scheduled tribe in the state of Assam to create awareness about the socio-political and cultural rights amongst members of the community. The writ petitioners are various. There are, you know, we've seen registered and unregistered societies who have been demanding the determination and deportation of all migrants in the state of Assam who have illegally entered from the erstwhile East Pakistan after the year 1951. The writ petitioners strongly believe that the culture and identity of various ethnic communities in Assam is at threat from the rapid demographic change caused by the continuous and unabated illegal migration from erstwhile East Pakistan and now Bangladesh ever since India's independence. The writ petitioners have at various times raised its concerns through various democratic and peaceful means, creating political awareness and holding various seminars, protest marches, political debates, and regularly interacting with the administrative officers and political leaders. The writ petitioners reserve its right to furnish other details, etc. Now, this was the petitioner's respondents. I'm going to skip. Now, please go to paragraph 16 actually, para 16 on page 3006. I wish to just read para 16 through till 20. The writ petitioners seek to highlight the state of Assam has already witnessed several ethnic clashes and violence, the scale of which are unparalleled in our history in terms of the loss of human lives and destruction of properties that is left. These ethnic clashes have occurred due to the continuous conflicts and tensions between the indigenous and tribal citizens of the state of Assam and the migrants and refugees from Bangladesh who have migrated to the state of Assam since India's independence and have found shelter in the state of Assam due to various factors, including vote bank politics of the political parties in the state of Assam. It is apposite here to refer to the Nelly massacre and the Bodoland riots of 2012. The Nelly massacre took place in Assam during a 6-hour period in the morning of 18 February 1983 by the Lalung tribes people. The massacre claimed lives of 2,191 people, though the unofficial war too. In July 2012, riots in the Bodoland territorial autonomous districts consisting of Buxa, Chirang, Kokrajhar, and Udalgiri districts and neighboring Dhubri district of Assam have claimed about 90 lives on 31st August 2012 and displaced over 400,000 people. This internal displacement has been variedly described as the largest one since India's partition. A violent demonstration was held at Azad Maidan at Mumbai on 11th August 2012 to protest against the attacks on Muslims in Myanmar and Assam, both unrelated. Over 50,000 people hailing from Northeast India fled from various states of mainland India due to the physical attacks and direct and indirect threats through bulk mobile SMSs and social media platforms from religious fundamentalists. In March 2014, Assam witnessed fresh riots in Kokrajhar, Chirang, and Buxa districts in Assam, which resulted to the death of many human lives. Due to the recent turn of events, Assam now faces threats of religious fundamentalism as never seen before. The writ petitioners state that the escalatory spiral of ethnic conflicts flies out of control because one party perceives itself to be threatened and takes measures to protect itself, thus threatening the other, and on it goes. The writ petitioners respectfully submit that the policies adopted by successive central and state governments and the inaction has encouraged migration and settlement of the large number of Bengali speaking people from erstwhile East Pakistan into the state of Assam. There has been no attempt to ascertain the actual number of the said migrants and the adverse impact which is the migrant population is likely to have on the local culture, traditions and heritage, scarce natural resources, demography and livelihood, and security of residents of Assam who are citizens on the date of adoption of the Constitution of India. The writ petitioners further submit that unfortunately there's a complete policy paralysis and lack of determination to resolve the sensitivity of this alarming situation that exists today on the ground. There's no clear policy of the government till date and regards to the settlement of the vast migrant and refugee population of Bangladesh who have illegally occupied the lands of acquired property rights in the state of Assam prior to the coming into the force of the impugned provisions of law, that is Section 6A. There is no measure taken till date to check the alarming population growth in the migrant community, nor any steps are taken to see a gradual assimilation of the migrant community into the mainstream Indian culture. The writ petitioners submit that the inaction of the government has put at jeopardy the very existence of Assamese culture, religion, and national identity. There is a simmering belief that the vote bank politics would not allow a permanent solution to the problem. The tribal population of Assam is increasingly feeling more alienated as vested groups have given the ethnic clashes the color of an anti-Muslim propaganda, which is actually an ethnic and economic conflict. The writ petitioners submit that insurrections and intercommunal violence in which religious, linguistic, or racial divisions are a significant factor now form the majority of armed conflicts in the world today. Since the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, ethnic conflicts have grown and proliferated at an alarming rate. Examples of ethnic wars, breakup of multi-ethnic states along the lines, and then there are several examples which are given. Now please go directly to paragraph 35. Now these are the, sorry, I should have given the page. It is 3022, internal page 33. Now, these are our amendments, and it will give your lordships a sense of our case as far as Assamese culture is concerned. Para 35. The Assamese culture has developed due to cultural assimilation of different ethno-cultural groups under various politico-economic systems in different periods of history. The term Assamese is often used to refer to those who are citizens of Assam. The Constitution of India has defined who shall be a citizen of India, and therefore the reference point for determining the Assamese culture for recognition as a constitutional right has to be the date of adoption of the Constitution of India. It is relevant here to briefly delve into the history of Assam. In the earliest recorded times, Assam was part of the Kamarupa, a state that had its capital at so-and-so, now Guwahati. King Narakasura and his son Agadatta were famous rulers, and during the Mahabharat period, approximately so-and-so, a Chinese traveler so-and-so left a vivid account of the country and its period. Assam was ruled by various dynasties, and those are named, and there was constant warfare amongst the princes until the coming of the Ahom people in the 13th century. Ahom ruled much of Assam from the 13th century until the establishment of British rule in 1838. Their power in Assam reached its peak during the reign of King Rudra Singh. The Ahom dynasty managed to keep the kingdom independent from the Mughal, though the Mughal attacked Assam 17 times. Ahoms, in fact, scored a decisive victory against the Mughal army in 1671. Due to the patronage provided to Hinduism by later-day Ahom kings, many tribes dotting the complex ethnic landscape of Assam were subsumed into the larger Hindu framework, which concomitantly and comfortably coexisted with an emerging Assamia identity. The Burmese invaded Assam 3 times between 1817 and 1819, politically weakening the Ahom rulers of Assam. This set the stage for a British campaign against the Burmese, whom they defeated, leading to the Treaty of Yandabu in 1825. By 1839, the Assam was completely annexed by the British, who included it in a part of the Bengal Presidency. The colonial government then established its monopoly over tea. In 1874, Assam was separated from the Bengal Presidency, and with Sylhet, it became the Chief Commissioner's province with its capital at Shillong. The British tea planters imported labor from central India, mostly from Orissa, Jharkhand, Bengal, and Bihar, adding to the demographic canvas. The inception of the Assam province came into being after the partition of Bengal in 1905 to 1911. At first, it was carved as a newly joined province of Assam, and East Bengal headed under Lieutenant Governorship, but later in 1911, the East Bengal was reunited with Bengal, and the new province of East Bengal became Assam, Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. 1905, again, the demographic invasion from East Bengal had started for cheap labor, encouraged by the colonial government. It is recorded that between 1905 till 1947, there was an unabated migration of population from East Bengal, continued to sparsely populated fertile lands of Assam. The 1951 census estimated the number of migrants from East Bengal at around 1.5 million, between 1/10 to 1/6 of the total population of the state. These immigrants and their descendants are neither illegal nor Bangladeshi. It's worthwhile to mention here that in 1532, so-and-so invaded Assam with an army and was defeated by the king of the Ahoms. Those taken prisoners were settled in the region and married Assamese women, losing all their culture, Islamic culture, within a few generations and adopting local customs. In the 1630s, the Muslim saint Shah Milan, also known as Azan Fakir, opened the way for Islamic missionaries by winning the patronage of the Ahom rulers. Between 1910 and 1931, thousands of Bengali Muslim peasants from eastern Bengal, now Bangladesh, came and settled in the state of Assam. Their descendants today have adopted to the Assamese language and identify themselves as Assamese. The Assamese Muslims are well integrated with the rest of the Assamese society. Assamese Muslims are often been in positions of influence within society of Assam and even India. One of the most famous individuals was Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad, President of the Indian Republic from Assam. The petitioners state that the Assamese language is the principal language of the state and is regarded as lingua franca. The population of Assam largely comprised of numerous Assam tribes with their varied customs, languages, tradition, culture, dresses, and exotic way of life. Some of the prominent tribes of Assam are Bodo, Singpo, Santhal, Dimasa people, Karbi, Khamti, Khamyang, Mishing, Nishi, Pake, and Rabha. The tribal communities of Assam have their individual languages, cultural traits, rites, rituals, festivals, folk music, dance, contributing to the richness of the socio-cultural fabric of Assam. Assam, being the home to many ethnic groups and different cultures, is rich in folk music. Painting is an ancient tradition of Assam. Silk weaving and crafts is part of the rich Assamese culture. The institution of Satra is a unique feature of Vaishnavism in Assam, founded by so-and-so, the father of Assamese culture. Institutions like Satara, monasteries, and village Namgar, prayer houses had profound influence in the evolution and social makeup of Assam society. The artistic oeuvres led to the engendering of new forms of literature, music, theatre, and dance. There are several important traditions, festivals of Assam. Bihu is the most celebrated festival of Assam. The ethnic tribes in Assam have their own festivals. Reference has been made to various studies and articles by eminent scholars on the culture of the state of Assam. The writ petitioners will refer to and rely on the same. The last part, Your Lordship may see, is what you had mentioned, which is at internal page 69, page 3058, which is the relief which we have sought. So our primary prayer is a declaration that Section 6A of the Citizenship Act as unconstitutional, being violative of 14, 21, and 29. The second prayer is to declare Rule 4A of the 2003 rules, as well as a notification dated 5th December 2013, issued under by respondent number 2, the Registrar General of Citizenship, as ultra vires 6A. So, assuming 6A is valid, these rules, as you will see when we show you the cutoff date, goes beyond even 6A. Now, please see 3. In the alternative to prayers 1 and 2, issue a writ of mandamus or any other alternative writ or order or direction to the Union of India to forthwith frame a policy in consultation with respondents 6 to 50, which is the states and the union territories, for settlement and rehabilitation across all the states of the union territories of India, proportionally. All persons of Indian origin who came to Assam after 26 January 1951 from the specified territory, as defined under Section 6A of the Citizenship Act, and further directed the said policy shall be implemented directly under the supervision and control of this Honorable Court. And then there are various directions with regard to which we have requested regarding complete fencing of the border, steps for process of identification, detection, and deportation of foreigners in the state of Assam in accordance with the provisions of the Foreigners Act 1946, and to constitute more tribunals, issue a writ of mandamus, state of Assam to immediately take steps to remove encroachers from the protected tribal lands created under the Assam Land and Revenue Regulations as amended in 1947, and a mandamus or any other alternative writ set up an independent committee to suggest measures with regard to these encroached lands as well as national forests, etc. So this then is the frame of our writ petition. Now I want to just supplement our the portions which I have already read from Justice Nariman's judgment and the reference order on the magnitude of the problem, with certain independent material that we have placed before you and which is now on the record. So to that end, may I request you to go, there is the Brahma Committee, and that notification of the Brahma Committee, your lordships will find in volume 4. Yeah, just a minute. So, Manoj, if your lordship is pleased to go for a moment to volume 4, page 2742. My mistake, 2742, I think. Just for a moment to 2742.
That's internal page 21, I think, is it?
It's internal page 21.
This is the Brahma Committee.
Your lordships have that? Sorry.
Committee of 2017.
That's right, 6 February 17?
30th December 17 looks like.
Oops.
And this is actually Dr. Rohini Kumar Barua,
Yes.
Anil Kumar Bhattacharya, Ajay Kumar Datta, Ramesh Barpatra Gohen.
Your lordship has that? It's
Yes.
6 February 17 or?
30th
December
17.
No, sorry, which is your lordship on page 2742?
Yes, but it begins at page 2722.
Yes, so I'll come to that, but that's the report. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That is the report. I'm taking you to the notification which set up this committee first.
But that is not 2742. 2742 is internal page 21, I think.
Correct, 21. At the foot of the page,
Where does the notification begin actually?
1.17, your lordship has para 1.17.
Yes.
So just below that. Does para 1.17 begin with a positive step of the state government of Assam?
That's correct.
Chief Justice, I don't know.
Yes.
Your lordship has that,
Yes.
correct? So then if I may just invite attention, just a few lines below that.
This was constituted by the government of Assam.
That's correct. I thought I'll just point that out. 6 February 2017, orders of the government of Assam. The governor of Assam is pleased to constitute a committee with the following members for suggesting measures, including modifications in ALRR 1886, other land laws, government circular, and land policy for ensuring protection of land rights of indigenous people in the state of Assam. And your lordships will notice that it's under the chairmanship of Sri Hari Shankar Brahma, IAS, former Chief Election Commissioner. And then, as your lordship correctly said, the members include Rohini Barua, etc. So this is the notification establishing it. We need to go to subsequent notification. Now please go to that same report which your lordship correctly noted begins at 2722, correct? Opens at 2722, the final report. And here, may I take you to page 2731. Your lordship said para 1.5. Part of the report.
1.5.
1.5.
Observations of CS.
Correct. So I'll just read that. Observations of Shri S.L. Shakdar, former Chief Election Commissioner of India. The basis for the anti-immigrant bias had been set by Shamlar Shakdar, the then Chief Election Commissioner of India, who told a conference of election commissioners across India in 1978 that he was alarmed by reports, especially from the Northeast, that foreigners were being included in the electoral rolls. Mr. S.L. Shakdar commented that in one state, Assam, the population in 1971 recorded an increase as high as 34.98% over the 1961 figures. And this increase was attributed to the influx of a very large number of persons from the neighboring countries. The influx has become a regular feature. I think it may not be wrong assessment to make on the basis of the increase of 34.98% between the two censuses, that the increase that is likely to be recorded in the 1991 census would be more than 100% over the 61 census. In other words, a stage would be reached when the state would have to reckon with the foreign nationals who may probably constitute a sizable percentage, if not a majority of the population of the state. So this was the Chief Election Commissioner who had made this observation. Now please have a look, if your lordships would. Yes. And here, this is back to the Nariman judgment. Here. Where do I get that? 1385. But which is the point? But I haven't got it. That I have. That we've read, no?
Yeah, but you wanted to read this part also. I have got it from that side.
Page 731 of volume 4, internal page 10. completed para 1.5, which was on page 2731, correct?
Yes.
The observations of the former Chief Election Commissioner, Shri S.L. Shakhtar. Now, may I request you to just go down to the next paragraph, 1.6. Memorandum of Lieutenant General Retired Shri S.K. Sinha, the then Governor of Assam, to the President of India. Lieutenant General S.K. Sinha, the then Governor of Assam, in a report on illegal migration of Assam submitted to the President of India on 8th November 1998, mentioned that the unabated influx of illegal migrants from Bangladesh into Assam and the consequent perceptible change in the demographic pattern of the state has been a matter of grave concern, which threatened to reduce the Assamese people to a minority in their own state, as happened in Tripura and Sikkim. He further stated that the Bangladeshi illegal migrants posed a much greater threat in Assam than any other state, and if the infiltration was not effectively checked, the infiltrators might swamp the Assamese people and might sever the northeast landmass from the rest of India. Some of his observations are as follows. A. Bangladesh census records indicate a reduction of 39 lakh Hindus between 1971 and 1981, and another 36 lakhs between 81 and 89. These 75 lakhs, 39 plus 36 Hindus have been obviously coming to India. In 1970, the total population of East Pakistan was 7.5 crores. But in 1974, it had come down to 7.14 crores. On the basis of a 3.1% annual population growth of that period, the population of 1974 should have been 7.7 crores. The shortfall of 6 million people can be explained by large-scale migration. Muslim population of Assam has shown a rise of 77.42% in 1991 from what it was in 1971. Hindu population has risen by nearly 41.89% in this period. Muslim population of Assam has risen from 24.68% in 1951 to 28.42% in 1991. The much higher percentage of growth of Assam from 1911 to 1971 over the All India and Bangladesh figures indicate migration into Assam. Then please go to paragraph 1.8.1, which is on the next page.
The only thing caveat which we may have to have is that these were inputs to the committee. I'm not sure whether these are authentic figures, whether they are accepted by the government. Figures of the government of India, our census, we can safely go by, there's no difficulty. But, you know, something which is an input to the committee for us to proceed as a constitutional court, you know, on those, somebody may say these figures were not right. Obviously,
No, I understand, but
Lieutenant General Sinha submitted it, so he sent it with a great deal of responsibility. But accuracy, we don't know. I mean, a broad trend, yes, it may convey a broad trend, but the specific figures, I'm not sure whether that it would be safe to rely on.
He is, I think, Your Lordship may take it as a trend. Your Lordship may take this as a trend, but it's an important trend. Now, please see, for our purposes, if Your Lordship is pleased to go to para 1.8.1 on the next page. Open Indo-Bangladesh border, unrestricted infiltration and encroachment on Char and other lands of adjoining districts. The most serious threats to the land rights of indigenous people of Assam, more precisely to the very identity of indigenous people of Assam, comes from the unabated mass infiltration from the landmass now comprised in Bangladesh through the wide open Indo-Bangladesh international border versus Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. The fact is that a predominant majority of people of doubtful origin occupied the vast Char areas under the explosive growth rate of population. There are few other districts like Barpeta, Bongaigaon, Darang, Dhubri, Golpara, Hailakandi, Karimganj, Morigaon and Naugaon, which are most seriously affected and have contributed largely to changing the demographic pattern of Assam. In this background, the land rights of indigenous people, as also their identity, are at stake. The conclusion is obvious that in case no effective constitutional, legal, and administrative steps, including sealing off of the Indo-Bangladesh border and detection and deportation of illegal immigrants are taken, the indigenous people are bound to be reduced to a landless class of people and to become foreigners in their own home. Then please see para 1.9, graphic depiction of the decadal population growth of Assam in India. It will be seen from the table given below that the population growth rates of Assam have consistently been higher than those in India as a whole since 1901 up to 2011. Further, the index of density of population of Assam has been consistently higher than that of India since 1971 up to 2011, except that of 1981, which was at a level 230:230, as this figure was not based on decadal census but was only interpolated. What must be remembered is that the relatively lower population density of Assam prior to 1971 compared to India had later not only caught up with but excelled those of the Indian average density. The higher density of Assam's population can be attributed to the higher growth rate of the Muslim population, particularly in the immigrant-dominated districts. Tables 1, 2, and 3 below respectively show the population trends in Assam and India, religion-wise, population growth as per the census report of 2011 and the districts with religion-wise majority of population. So there are further inputs on the basis of the census figures which are available. And if your lordships would now move further down to 1.14.
How many districts does the state have?
How many districts in this state?
Present 34.
34.
Present.
34.
There is some reduction last one. We are bringing it down to 31.
31.
31.
Some
The
districts may
learned
have been merged.
is here.
They may have been merged, etc., right?
Yes.
Amalgamation of the district.
One point one. Yeah.
1901, some less than 8%.
Well, 1.1 on page 2733.
1 point.
1. So you'll find the years which are given in 1901 onwards, census years. And please see the population of Assam and as against that the population of India. And the percentage decadal variation is indicated in the next column. And then please see the density. Now in 1901, you will find that density as far as Assam is concerned is 42 per person per square kilometer, whereas the national density was 77 persons per square kilometer. Then please have a look at 1951. By now it is 102, but it is still below the All India density, which is 117. And then if you see the 2011 figure, the density per person has now gone up to 398 persons per square kilometer and exceeded the national figure of 368 persons per square kilometer. So from being well below in 1901, there has been a considerable increase. And as we saw from the committee report, they have said that please ignore 1981 because that was an extrapolation. But for all the other years, your lordships will find that 91, 2001 and 2011, the density far exceeds the national figures. Yes. And your lordships will see that the source at the foot of page table 1.1 is Census of India, 2011. Your Lordship may just see the foot of, sorry, not foot, but page 2733, just below, foot of table 1.1. The source for those figures is indicated as being the Census of India, 2011. Show it to me. Now, if your Lordship would go to 1.14, paragraph, on page 2741.
Actually,
Yes.
what, I mean, just to analyze that table since
Yes.
based on the census.
1.1.
Interesting, yeah, 1.1. Something very interesting emerges from that. If you see the population, we'll not go by the percentage increase. We don't know it. We have only the percentage decadal variation. 1901, the total population is 33.
Yes.
11, it becomes 38. Look at the rate of growth. 5. 30, 21, 46. 31, 56. 41, 67. Slight is about a 10 lakh increase. Then again 51, 80. Between 51 to 61, the population really jumps from 80 to 108, almost a 28 lakh increase over 80 lakhs, which is almost a 25% increase. Then see what happens between 61 to 71. It increases from 108 to 146. That is a 38 lakh increase over 108, which is again almost 33% increase. Then 71 to 81. This is a crucial period for our purposes because that's when the liberation takes place, the war, the 25th March cutoff. So 71, it is 146, right? And then 81. So 61 to 71, it increases from 108 lakhs to 146 lakhs.
That's the crucial period.
Yes. And 71 to 81.
That's a projection.
It increases to, it's a projection, is it? Interpolation,
Yes.
they say. It is roughly, it increases again by 34 lakhs to 180. 81 to 91, it goes to 224. That is a 44 lakh increase. Again, 91 to 2001, it increases by 40 lakhs. And then 2001 to 2011, it increases to 312, which is almost like a 44 plus 12, 56 lakh increase. At the same time, Mr. Diwan, we have to be very careful. We are not in this case, I mean, as a reference to the Constitution bench, we are not really looking at what is happening today or post the 1985 amendment, the post the accord and the amendment to the of Section 6A. We are looking specifically at a period which is frozen in time, right?
I would say you look at both because if I'm
No, we can't. Well, we cannot adjudicate upon the validity of that Section 6A on what has happened subsequently, because assuming you're right, we'll put it in your favor.
of the statute.
We will put it in your favor that there has been a sudden increase in the infiltration according to you, post the amendment as well. But will that have an impact on the validity of the amendment itself?
No, I'm not for a moment suggesting that.
Right.
It's not my submission. My submission essentially is that according to us, the amendment doesn't stand for the reasons which I have broadly
You have
indicated.
now shown us the
But
cultural
on this
the
aspect-
cultural identity
Yeah.
that you have
On-
formulated your. We'll have
But
to hear
on
the
this
other side.
aspect, I think this is, sorry. This may be a facet with regard to our arguments on identity, on cultural rights, on indigenous peoples, etc. And the dilution, because, and ultimately it will translate into a complete dilution of your political rights as well. So what we are saying, and eventually this, your Lordship sees that this report is with regard to land and what is happening with regard to the
Suppose the
extensive
amendment
encroachments.
was,
Sorry.
suppose the amendment by the legislature was, we're giving you a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Suppose the amendment of the legislature was that anybody who has entered into Assam after 25th of March 1971 will for 10 years not deleted from the electoral roll. After 10 years, they will get citizenship. Then perhaps it would have been a completely different scenario because then you are encouraging illegal infiltration by saying that, look, you come here for 10 years, you will not be in the electoral roll and thereafter you get citizenship. That's not the amendment the legislature.
So this is what the amendment which the legislature has done. We'll see the provision, of course.
What
they've
it
done,
does is freezes it at 71.
it freezes it at 71 and incentivizes people to remain.
It's a one-time measure.
No, I'm not saying it's not a one-time measure, but look what's happened over here. What's happened over here is twofold. First of all, there has been nothing subsequent to that because we've seen the figures, etc. Even post 1985, the influx continues. But today, as a result of not enforcing the law, which was that illegal immigrants have to be identified and appropriate action taken in accordance with law, that has been completely given a go-by, and this is being used as some sort of a shield. The result, so my primary point is that this provision itself is bad. You could not have, having regard to the constitutional mandate and your obligation as the state to protect my cultural rights, to allow a continuous dilution all the way up to when the statutory provision was introduced in the first instance. And because that itself resulted in a tremendous dilution, and then it has a multiplier effect, because by recognizing these people, one, by not taking any action which you are required and obliged to do, because they are completely in default as noticed by this court in the reference order judgment itself, what is left of my cultural rights? What's left of my land? What's left of my economic rights? And you're issuing electoral cards over here and giving people a right to vote. So how is that to be countenanced? I mean, this is the essence of this kind of demographic invasion. And therefore we say that, look, if you're so welcoming, please don't burden the state of Assam. You have so many border states. Where's the question of having a special regime only for Assam? Then you have this regime for everybody. You may have some historical justification for the accord, well and good. But I'm sorry.
According to you,
Yeah.
consequence does matter.
Yes, it does matter. Effect of the order, effect of the law.
On two broader grounds. One is, according to you, it will facilitate the another set of illegal migrants to come, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the consequence is that, that group becomes larger.
Yeah.
It affects.
Yes.
So to that extent, you say
Yeah.
that consequence will have to be written to the
And
statute.
future generations. You see, it's very, if you absent a machinery, let's just keep just suspend the submission with regard to that this datum line is bad. Keep that aside. The moment you have a situation where you are recognizing a particular set of people and conferring upon them citizenship automatically, which according to us ought not to be done, what happens as far as the next generation is concerned? So you are actually cementing something which has happened in a illegal manner. So
One more
sorry.
thing which we'll have to bear in mind,
Yes.
Mr. Adwan, is that if the legislature, if the parliament were to merely grant amnesty to a group of illegal immigrants, that
Yeah.
would be a very different situation.
it would be a different.
It would be a very different situation. But we can't deny the fact that 6A
Yeah.
was enacted at a point of time which
Yeah.
is deeply connected to our history, namely
Right.
that India had a very vital role, if I may use that expression, in the creation of Bangladesh, because we were part of the war as much as Bangladesh was.
We were.
The immigration which took place, Parliament seems to have proceeded on the basis that the immigration which took place cannot be regarded purely on the footing of an illegal immigration, but it was something which was really a humanitarian aspect of what the atrocities which were being committed on the population in East Pakistan, which is why India intervened. The war took place, there was a liberation, Bangladesh was created.
Correct.
And therefore, this was not just looked at by Parliament from the perspective of an illegal immigration, but something which is deeply interwoven in our own history of conflict and the liberation of Bangladesh. So it seems to have been on that ground. Therefore, we are
But
not
that
saying
argument, that submission of your lordship falls completely in my favor, and I'm obliged for this observation, because when we examine the cutoff dates, as far as people who have come after the atrocities, as far as Bangladesh is concerned, this extends no protection to them at all. At all. That's why, sorry.
undoubtedly, therefore, there are two parts of your petition.
Yes, that's correct.
One is section 6A,
Yeah.
and the second, as Brother Suryakant, Brother Sundaresh also said,
Yeah.
is the failure to implement the law post the 6A.
Yes.
That's a separate issue. But what has been referred to the Constitution bench is the first, namely the validity of 6A. See?
No, but of course, the validity of 6A, but assuming 6A is valid, assuming 6A is valid and has been held to be reasonable, etc., and it survives the constitutional test, I'm sorry.
Your first challenge is that, 6A itself as a whole should go.
Go, yeah, that's my primary.
What, Chief is trying to
Yeah.
tell you is that, could it be compartmentalized in a particular way? Could that
Yeah.
be, is it your case?
Yeah,
Let us assume that we uphold 6A.
yeah,
What extent the rights can be conferred?
yes,
It can be now, can it be, that's why the question is put to you.
yeah,
Whether that can be taken as a citizen per se, giving all rights
right.
to them, to much to the detriment of others, or it could be a curtail right. Just
Yeah,
think,
all
think
right.
aloud, think aloud, just what I want to say.
We'll come back. Discharge for the day because this matter now is completely on board.